You've been remembered. Yes, it's gray.
What's up with you?
Well, so gosh, I mean, so much is going on right now. We are, we're just well, there's just a lot happening, a lot of changes. We're in Taurus energetically, so that's a good thing, right? Moving through Taurus energy, that feels good, but still a lot of Aries scattered energy, still kind of working its way out. And with Pisces energy, there's a lot of wrapping up of karma. So there's a lot moving on in this beginning energy of Taurus. You
When
know,
you say that, just for the people that are like me and don't really know what you're talking about, what do
sure.
you what do you mean by Taurus energy and Pisces energy? Where's what's that in
Sure.
reference to?
Okay, so basically, I mean, let's kind of do the whole 9 yards. Like this is a big year for everyone in the world. This is a 9 year, by the way, as far as 2025 adds to a nine. Okay, so I'm going to change my camera here a little bit. And so whenever you have a 9 year, it means you're going to go forward to the next decade. Like this is when you move forward to the next decade. So like 80s and 90s, you know how like we shift a whole like kind of like vibe between decades usually.
Hmm.
The 9 years to change year. So you're always changing decades. You're changing modes. It's like basically it seems like a decade, but it's really nine as far as how many years like we stay in a funk. 0 through 9, right? Right. One through
Okay.
nine. So this is not astrology. This is kind of culturally. There are astrological reasons for this, and the astrological reasons have to do with the nodes. So the lunar nodes have a 9 year cycle, and so every 9 years the nodes change. When the nodes are antinodal, we have an antinodal and a positive nodal. So there'll be 9 years where it's one way, and then 9 years where it's backwards, and 9 years forwards backwards as far as like how it's covering north and south, right? Um, so basically, every 9 years you kind of go through a shift of change, and we find that that's always on. Ironically, it always happens on when it adds to a nine. So somehow the human calendar got linked up with this correctly, which is odd because usually the human calendar is not connected to these things correctly. So when the nodes change signs, it's always on a 9 year when it adds to
Okay.
a nine. Okay, so you with me so far?
Yeah.
So every time there's a 9 year change, life changes. So last time was 2016. So that was like, when that was when Hillary was, going against Trump. And we've basically been in the Hillary Trump, chaos until this year. This year we're ending the Hillary Trump like chaos. All of it, COVID, everything kind of fell in that same icky nine, right? Years. And now we're entering into a new one right now. And so this transition in the spring has technically been that transition, like, and what it involves like more on a astrological level is this spring, you've had the choice to like, you're either going to like walk past your problems and face them or you're not. And it comes down to you. Like each individual is either going to like address their patterns and move on or not. Right.
Okay. And is there repercussions for those choices? Like, is there a split in reality or in one's life?
Well, this particular split happens to be so huge that we don't know. Honestly, we don't know. Usually, what happens is people fall, but so usually what happens when people decide not to change, they start to fade out of society. Like they just become less popular, less known, just kind of fade off into a quieter and quieter life by themselves. It's going to get moved off the field. Is usually what happens. Now, because this happens to be a change that will evolve, that we think it, ends up on a whole nother Earth. We feel like it's a whole nother Earth. I mean,
Okay.
we don't really know for sure. We need to interview more people like the Pleiadians and other
Hmm.
species, like through channels and stuff. So we have to figure this out through channels and stuff. We can't tell if there's a parallel timeline or not, because there's been word through some sources that if you choose not to go with the new Earth, you're going to be put onto a different Earth, like the next Earth. They're
And
building
there,
the next Earth right now.
and the reason why we need to go like off planet or interdimensional guidance is because we won't really know from our perspective that there's another path, right? Like if we go to the new earth, we're just in the new earth. We don't really know that there's a whole other portion of society that went to another place.
No, but this has happened before. Like the Mayans disappeared. We don't know where they went. Like there's like cultures that just disappeared. We don't know where they went.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And so there's
There's
talk
no
amongst
remains like
there's
yeah.
just the stones and shit that they carved. And we're like, where'd
Right.
they go? Like they just took off, and we don't know what happened. Like so, we don't know if that's like what's about to happen. So we're just like wake up one day and Jersey's gone. Like we don't don't know. We don't know. You know, we don't know what's gonna happen. It's like this was the land of Jersey, New Jersey. Nothing new about it now, is there? You know, like I don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I really, for once, I have no idea. You know, like I really don't know. I'm very curious about it. Like I'm gonna interview people who allegedly know. You know, but over time, it's like something I'm gonna do investigative reporting on, like spiritual investigative reporting. Like what is this supposed to be? If I can talk to a ascended master, I can like an interview with anyone. But but it does appear that you're making the choice yourself right now. And I do think that people stick around. Now, nothing happens overnight because a lot of people who, I don't know, see, we're not 100% sure, but there are people who choose the light and stay, and there are people who choose the dark and stay, both. So don't get confused between light and dark with this particular choice because
Right.
there's different choices here. The people who stay in the dark, and dark, by the way, but guys, just so everyone knows, dark is like when you refuse to see the upside, you refuse to see you just are constantly looking at what's wrong, what's bad, what's negative. You never choose to look at the other side. You just always choose to look at the bad side of things. Always, that's your choice, and that's you. When you choose that, you choose that. You know what I mean? It's one thing to be a bummer because you're in a bad mood one day. It's another day to be like the person in the office who's always the bummer, right?
It's
Like
likely
that.
you won't even know that you're that person if you are.
I think you must not. I mean, I've always tried to like say to them, you know, and what happens whenever it says like, the other time, like, you are, it's oh fuck. Now it's on
Yeah.
me. Now I'm the bad guy.
Everyone's an idiot, so I'm
Yeah.
just saying the truth.
I don't know what's so because some people because it depends on what your lesson is. Like sometimes your lesson is to lose. A lot of times your lesson is to lose. You know, like so some people haven't been on Earth long enough, and you're gonna lose, so to speak. Where you'll be, I don't even want to give examples, but it's the losing side of whatever that was wrong about stuff. Great Britain lost the American Revolution. So Great Britain had been doing nothing but winning for centuries, and then they had to lose, right? So,
Yeah, losing is where all the learning's at as well.
right, yeah, totally, you have to. Otherwise, you won't appreciate winning. You don't appreciate winning if you don't lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what we feel is it's kind of complicated, but basically, you choose the light or the gray, and you choose to evolve or not. Those are two choices you're choosing. And
When we
usually
get on,
evolve and light go together.
did you say something about gray? Like
I was
just
noticing maybe it's the gray behind you.
Oh, all right. You're talking about the sky. Okay,
Oh yeah, what do you think I was talking about?
I don't know because I just heard like you kind of like murmuring gray, and I was just like,
I might have said, oh great. I mean that's typical
oh, all
me.
right.
I might have said something like that. Oh great. Yeah. So yeah. So anyways, this week, I mean, where we're at was we actually start manifesting whatever it is. You're starting like a new film strip. So it doesn't matter what choice you made. You're technically making a new timeline, anyways, right?
This week. So you're talking about
Yes.
this 9 year thing is happening this week.
The final changeovers. No, we started the new one. Like the new one officially begins on the new moon on the new moon coming up on Thursday.
Okay. Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
Actually, it's not even on
actually
Thursday. It's actually no, it's on Sunday. Excuse me. I
that's
was looking
pretty
at the wrong
incredible.
symbol. Yeah. So the new story is officially on the air. New moon on Sunday. The new moon's at 7 degrees. That is the manifestation Taurus of the new spiritual story 7. Spiritual story being timeline in this case. So uh And so timeline meaning that you are officially starting a whole new karmic package. Okay, so new karmic package means that um, you're technically got a clean slate, and if you just want to like act like it never happened, so will the rest of the world, right?
Hmm.
Right now, but if you can't like shake guilt or shake remorse and all that stuff, then you're gonna recreate it in the new timeline.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Like you go, so if you just let go and forget about it, you'll be fine. So will everyone else.
Yeah. Important
So everyone else.
choice.
Yeah, I mean, really it is. I mean, you don't believe it. I mean, you have nothing to lose. Except, by just ignoring it and seeing if it goes away. You have nothing to lose at this point, I don't think. Unless you're like, someone's after you and you have to pay a debt or something, then you should probably pay that. But overall, so what that means is that we're creating now what we're creating this week is a new self-worth based for the new story. So you're basically this week creating a soul capital, new self-worth. All right. And self-worth is what your soul dedicates to putting time and energy into. So to have self-worth, you have to put time and energy into yourself, into bettering yourself. Whatever better is according to you. I prefer the word
Because
gooder.
yeah, because then you're essentially acknowledging your value by putting energy into you.
100%. At a time when we calculate value. So the first 10 days of Taurus is the calculation of self-worth. Every year, we recalculate our self-worth. Every year in the first 10 degrees of Taurus. You're like, this one's hitting you.
Yeah, there's I was just reminded of like the words appreciate, like to appreciate
Mhm.
yourself, because appreciation is sort of like
My
it's a
stocks
value.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you can start with appreciating um,
Yes.
yourself, everything, how you look, how you think, what's going on around you, what you have,
Yes.
your desires, your talents.
Yes.
It's so much.
Although the way the universe does it is by state of awareness. So today, we're in the I love state of awareness. So today is from yesterday till today. How much did you value your own heart? How important was your heart, right, in the last 24 hours? Is it important to you? Is it important that your heart gets hit what it wants? Is it important that your heart finds the one it loves? Is it important that your heart, gets its favorite candy? Is it important the heart gets the rest when it wants rest? Like, is it important? Is it valuable to you? Then love is valuable in the next chapter. Now, mind
Mm.
you, we're gonna be 9 years in this next chapter. So I'm making it's called a chapter. I guess it's a book series. I don't even know. It's like the next series. So the next book series, the whole book series. Um, your value every year. This is year zero or year one. So then we have two, three, four. Every year we go to Taurus, you can reevaluate, right? So you can take it higher and higher. But this happens should be a huge stock market jump. This is why the stock market should be booming right now. Okay, because we just took off all the karma and all the bad energy off the planet, and the stock market goes down. I don't think so. Uh, so yeah, some sus about that. But so today it's like, what? How do I value my heart? In about 2 hours, how do I value my feelings? The next day on Wednesday, and right now we're having a weird step system where the step changes in the afternoon. So it's all about heart until about 3 Eastern time, and then it's going to be all about emotion until 3 tomorrow. So we're sort of like doing half and half days. And when you do half and half days, you get more tired because you have to run two programs, two steps in the same day. You get tired,
I've
just so
been
everyone
super
knows.
tired. Yeah,
Hmm.
like it's been
Yeah.
this morning was hard to get up.
Yeah, me too. Me
Okay,
too.
so up until about 2 hours from now, it's been heart, and then we're going into feeling and emotions. Is there
Hmm.
anything else to say about today besides that sort of predisposition?
Well, yeah. I mean, this morning, what happened was this morning, Saturn conjunct the North Node at 26 degrees Pisces. And what that means in simple talk is that this morning you sort of decided what you're devoted towards. So today you're deciding where's the spirit going? Am I going to be on the bad side on the new earth or on the good side of the new earth? Or am I going to be on the bad or good side of the ejected earth? Like where are you going? What are you devoted to? Right. And so like sometimes it happens as a simple thing. Like let's say you and let's say you and your neighbor have been suing each other for years. Like you win, then he wins, and you win, then he wins. It's like fuck. And so this morning it was like, do you want to sue him again? Because you just won. So like if you
Yeah,
said yes, I want to sue him again, well then you just chose probably the decaying earth.
you still playing the game.
Yeah, because you won't opt out. For some reason, it's still important to you, right? So a lot of people you have to opt out, and that's really hard because a lot of times when you opt out of the game, it appears officially like you were the coward or you lost.
Right. Okay, so that'll be like what it will be possibly perceived as. It'll feel like that.
On record, they'll be like, "See, chicken shit, you didn't even sue me back. I won. You didn't sue me back." There's that. People who stay stuck and stay in the ego realm, they'll get to win the ego round, but they'll lose the spirit round.
Yeah, it's like if you do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Correct. Yeah. Are you here to please the ego or are you here to please the soul? I'm pleased as a soul because I'm getting off this third rock from the sun. You, my friend, will be stuck here, right? It's like that's the kind of thing. Actually, you'll be deported. Ironically, I should be careful with those words, but you know what I mean. You'll reincarnate on a different system. Yeah,
Yeah, like majorly deported.
yeah, like out of the earthbound system.
Right.
So, but we still have. So we have that. So let's first forget about the people who don't want to grow. That's always the case. There's always people who don't want to grow. I don't mind it. I get it. There's sometimes I don't give a crap. I mean, and I don't want to grow either. I don't usually do a whole lifetime of it or two lifetimes of it, but whatever. It's okay. You're going to heaven. You still get to be with God. There's nothing really happens to you. Just you're at I think a boring place. Um, then there's the people who decide they want to stay here on Earth. Okay, of the people who want to stay here and ascend, half of them think it's well, not even half. I don't even know the numbers. I can't even pretend to know the numbers. A percentage of them thinks the only way the Earth is going to ever work is if you control them. If you control everyone and everything. They said it's the only way Earth's going to work because free will is messy.
Hmm.
So we all be controlled from the few that God chose, the rich ones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's the theory. The rich ones were chosen by God, or they wouldn't be rich, and so they must be rich. They must be the ones chosen by God because they're the wealthy ones. Forget
Right.
that they
Right.
cheated at everything on the way
With
up.
God's will. Right.
Must be God's will, and otherwise, why would it happen? You know. So there's that, and they say we need to control everything with software and laws and like you will own nothing and you will like it. You know. And so there's that group of people. Then there's another group of people who's like, you guys are crazy motherfuckers. Well, we're kind of tired of you thinking just because you have money, you control everything. And no, we're not going to communism. We're taking your money for us. Like it's not gonna be what you think. So don't get all excited, communism. We're not doing that either. But we're actually not playing this game anymore because it's getting boring. We want new games that are fun. Monopoly's become boring.
Right.
So we're gonna all like there's the Boston Tea Party. Now it's gonna be like the Mississippi Monopoly Party. Like we're gonna dump every Parker Brothers Monopoly board over into the water. And that's going to be it. We're done. We're done with monopolies,
Yeah.
right?
It's time for a new game. Exactly.
Shoots and ladders, right? Right? Shoots and ladders. So that begins what we call the frequency wars, and actually that's what the plate is called. It's the frequency wars, where basically I have a sense. I mean, because it's been really dizzy. I mean, I've been sick, not sick like sick, but just like woozy. Just my body's been going through like just after effects of the change.
Hmm.
The energy changes, and it's just been I had to lay down a few times, like. So I'm not my full 100% right now, but as soon as I get my wherewithal again, I'll start scanning the future, and seeing how it's going to go. But I pretty much feel like it's just like the American Civil War. I mean, the American Revolution. The American Revolution, it was estimated that one third of the population wanted to leave Britain, one third wanted to stay, and one third didn't know what was going on or vote. So it's like one third just didn't have. So it becomes a race for that middle third to convince them that you're right. That's why it's a frequency war.
So you're saying that there's a percentage, whether it's a third or something else, that are aware and are choosing something different in terms of like the system that we're going through. Is that what you're referring to?
They're non-committal, but you still need to win the pop. So if the Earth is a spiritual democracy, if 51% of the Earth believed the sky was pink, it would turn pink.
Yeah,
If 51% of the Earth
we're
believed,
creating
yeah. Mhm.
we're creating all this as we go.
In the common, like right now, and basically in a trance in heaven. So it's like we're all in this unified trance in heaven. If everyone in the trance starts believing the sky is pink, the sky turns pink.
Yeah, which
Because
is
this
the
really is
importance of TV. It's the importance of the programming.
programming, right? They're trying to get you programmed under their programs, right? So basically, there's a fight to get the middle third to believe your thing. It's a propaganda. Believe our story. And the reality is, it's actually worse than whatever you believe it is. So
Right.
and then there's like believe our story. There's believe our story, and then there's the light workers, which is something no one expected. I think. I don't think either side thought the light workers would come back so fast, right? What I mean by these are ordinary citizens who understand the light just as much as these wizards do, right? If not better,
They're the actual
because
oracles. Yeah.
yes, there
And
was yeah, totally. Hmm.
because
And
the power people use the oracles, but and the witches and the the people that can see through the veil, they've been using them, uh, but eventually they can be united and
yes, I mean
speak for
that's the whole
themselves.
unite the light. That's
Yeah.
so that's what we're doing. We're trying to unite the light because we feel like if we don't at least talk to each other, we're going to be picked apart and hurt. And so actually, we've had some changes in Unite the Light. We'll have some announcements coming out soon. We're finding that more people want to watch from home than go. So like we're having this Madison like ticket shift. So we're responding to the needs of the people, and so it's going to become like there's people going, and those people will be like backstage pass because the main crowd. We'll see. We don't know. Like we'd love people to go. If you're in the Tennessee area, if you're in Tennessee, come see us. We're not going to be back for a long time. So
There's a
come see
lot
if
of
you're in
people on the
Tennessee.
East Coast. Yeah.
Totally, come see us now. We're not going to the East Coast for a while. I'll tell you that right now. The reason for that is because I love you guys, the East Coast, but the East is yesterday, West is tomorrow.
So we got Unite the Light, middle of May. What are the exact dates?
We're going to be on May 17th and May 18th, and this is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. You can get discounts if you buy through people like myself or buy through this gentleman here if he wants to be affiliate, and you can get discounts. So there's no use to pay full price. And we're going to be there for 2 days doing like show and tell and some major stuff. There's some cool people coming. We're still working out some deals, and more cool people coming. It's going to be great, great, intelligent conversation about things that's going to blow your mind. Like the first day is just like things that blow your mind about lightworkers and what they did. So it's like, look what he did, look what he did, look what he did. Um, Man, it's like so you can get inspired to go do your mission, and that's part of the reason why we come together is like so we can help each other in each other's missions. Because pretty much every lightworker has their own mission. Everyone does. So we all have to kind of scratch each other's back because you waste a lot of energy when you try to get a non-light worker on the project. A lot.
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, even just the babbling in your ear of what's not possible, that could set you back decades of progress.
Really, I'm just like, I mean, I'm at a point now. I mean, I think everyone should listen. I mean, Pluto's in Aquarius. It means you have to protect the vibe. Okay, which means if someone is like messing with your vibe, ask him to leave or leave. You should not hang around anyone that's fucking with your vibe anymore. It's not the you'll see him in heaven. I mean, like you guys, you have your number. Well, we come in heaven, be like, well, that was weird. So it's you're not gonna you don't lose anyone ever, but you don't have to play them down in the Hunger Games. You can like opt out while you're down there. You know, so you don't have to like play with them if they're not being fun.
All right, so
Um,
that's extremely important right now.
yeah, and I would say people go, what about the karma? Your period's over. You're done. Like from what we can tell, you're pretty much done. Not to say there won't be loose ends. There'll be tying up loose ends for the next year. There's a lot of loose ends, but most of the loose ends for the next year are the ones who refuse to change. So they come back and they come back like roaches. And they come back and back. And it's just like, oh my God, please just give up. Let's just stop it. So that I think that's the last loose ends. I don't think loose ends like, oh my God, I forgot about my great grandfather. Like I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's like, we basically find people who just won't give up or won't quit, kind of like a superhero film, but just will not quit. And then we have, of course, in this frequency war, I think it's safe to say that the shadow is definitely, I don't want to use the word losing. I just would say their plan isn't working. Let's put it that way. The plan's not really
Okay.
working, but I know they've got more of the plans up their sleeve. So never
Yeah,
say
they got the
never.
backup.
Yeah, we know
It's
what those are too. But yeah, yeah. Go
so
ahead.
all right, unite the light dot love, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
that
love,
information.
that love. Yes, and we'd love to have you there. Now, if you can't make it or don't want to make it because you have to do other stuff, you can stream the whole thing. It's a very affordable price. You have access to it forever. Okay. You're invited into a special online circle community where we hang out secretly. So you're brought into our secret layer, and you're allowed into that, and you're part of our community. So you can stay there for a year. And the biggest thing about Unite the Light is the networking. You will never, I don't think, ever anywhere be able to network with the light workers like you will here. Like this is the whole point. Like it's hard to find people who understand. I mean, I remember I was there last year, and I was so excited. I went off on a talk about like past lives, and then I froze for a second because like, oh shit, I don't usually let myself be so honest about that. I had a little panic for a moment, and everyone around me saw it. They're like, "No, you're safe with us." It's like, "Oh my God, you're right." Like, it was just a little moment, like, "Wow." I mean, to be honest, talk about stuff I like to talk about, not worry about being looked like a lunatic. Because I mean, anytime I talk about stuff like that, I'm like, "Now you may or may not believe in past lives, but
Right, right.
and that sort of conversation you have to have, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, with
So
everyone.
totally. So that's May 17th and 18th. I think it's very important that we go. I think that we're going to be, we're going to we move some things around. We're going to do our first Board of Light meeting, which is basically our Congress. So we're going to start our Congress, and that will be closed doors. That will not be sent via tape. So you have to be there to be a part of Congress. But other than that, it's all broadcast, and we have Zoom rooms where you can chat with each other. We're going to bring people on camera for free readings. Like we're going to do all kinds of stuff. It's going to be fun.
Yes, guys, definitely go there. It's a huge, could be a life-changing thing for you. And yes, it's a cost, just like anything. There's an energy exchange, but
Yes,
if you show up anywhere empty-handed, you leave empty-handed. So that cost is almost like it's your confirmation. It's it's what you're bringing to the table. Because I mean, I always think about like paying for a ticket. You are actually allowing the thing to happen for
oh,
everybody, because without the people paying for the ticket, like there's nobody to pay for the space and nobody to pay for the speakers and nobody to pay for everything that puts the event together. So you're actually participating in the creation of it by supporting with the price.
totally. Yes, you are, and we are at a point where we do need help. Like, we have sponsorships available. So if you want to like buy a sponsorship, it'll be blasted to everyone there, blasted to everyone at home. You know, so if you want to, like, if you're a reading business, if you're like a little reading business in like Omaha, Nebraska, and you like do tarot cards, come advertise, man. Come advertise. Like, you'll get in front of people, and people are like, "Who's that?" Like, "Who's that person advertising?" I want you tarot reader because people are like they can feel it if you're the right person. So there's never been a place where you can just advertise to your own people before like this. You know what I mean? So that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. So you can advertise or you can buy a ticket. And we do need your help because, I swear to God, I mean, the hotels and everything, their prices are so high. Like we're being priced out of stuff. It's so hard for us, like to like hold it together. Not complaining, but to me, that's how the other side's trying to cheat right now in the beginning of the frequency wars is like, we'll just raise all the prices of everything. Because that's the way it was. It was that. It wasn't the supply, guys. It was not supply. So, anyways, so that's where we're at with Unite the Light. But it's kind of perfect because Unite the Light actually. So let's talk about this month of May. So what happens in the month of May or in the month of Taurus? This first week of the month of Taurus is about building self worth. So, how much do you value your heart? How much do you value your feelings? How much do you value your beliefs? How much do you value where you belong on earth? Can you really value that you say you're in the wrong town? You say you don't like it there. But why are you still there? So you're getting called on your shit on step 4. Like when you said, why are you there then? I'm so tired of this marriage. Why are you there? Like, so there's a real, like, why are you there? Put your money where your mouth is. So, Taurus is no bull. Like we're just like, evidence speaks for itself. You clearly want to stay here. Then, how much do you value your relationship to yourself? Or how much do you value your thoughts? Step 5. How much do you value your relationship to yourself? Step 6. How much do you value? And then finally, how much do you value your soul? Step 7. And then how much do you value your soul? Boom, new moon. Boom. That's the story.
That's
That's the
this
story.
week.
Yep, by Sunday. So that's the story. And that's your first budget of what we call soul capital. How much
Ah,
credit you need to give
that's
yourself?
interesting.
Hmm.
It's almost like if we're trying to opt out, if we know this capitalistic system, or as we said, monopoly, that game of monopoly, if that's not going to be the way forward, then we get to put energy into the other way forward, which isn't going to look like green pieces of paper and easily, numbers in the bank account is my value, my worth. It's going to be something else. And this definitely looks like laying the foundation if everybody was doing this and able to relate to themselves and as you're saying, how much do I value this? How much do I value this? How much do I value this? It's almost
Right.
like we get to collect. It's like if we were just had like be able to just grab as much money as we want, but it's not money this time. It's like this free energy that's something else that we're going to eventually be able to create society and reality with. But we must start with ourselves first.
Yes. Yes. Basically, yeah. It's going to become oligopoly now, I think, or what's it called? What do you call it? What do you call them? Like a super rich or
Ale- uh,
mm,
you mean where you're donating all the time?
like in Russia, they're all
Olig- oligarchs?
yeah, oligarchs. Yeah, it's like oligarchically. I don't know. That's gonna be the next game. That'll be next. That'll be the next game, I think. It's gonna be that. But no, actually, there's no problem with money.
Oligarch.
Oligarch. Thank you.
I was,
Oligarchically. That's what it's gonna be. So there's no problem with money. It's that you can't monopolize it.
hmm
It's the
yeah,
monopolizing. It's not the money. It's the monopolizing of it, guys. It's they monopolized. They bought the whole park place and boardwalk and everything. That's monopoly, right? Like you don't have to monopolize it. You can actually just buy one little property and not own the whole city. That would be not. That would be something else, right?
yeah. I saw something that said like if we're studying animals and we saw an animal that was hoarding all the resources and wouldn't let any other animals eat or drink or
Right.
like we would try and study that animal and figure out what was wrong with it. Like why was it doing that? But if a human does that, we put them on the cover of Time magazine.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. Well, that's because all the oligarchs, basically, and oligarchically. Yeah, they all. I know they all support each other. I mean, I think they've already lost our attention. I mean, I don't think anyone's paying attention to them. But yeah, it's interesting. But
Well,
when it comes down to also, go ahead.
the thing with money is that it's like this fake thing that is of limited supply, and it's that limit that makes things valuable, right? But there's
Right.
energy everywhere. So I think last week we were talking about like, or maybe it wasn't you, I don't know, but like when things like recessions or depressions happen, it's not like there's not resources anymore, but the companies are told that we can't do these things because it costs too much or that our money's not as valuable, but there's unlimited resources everywhere and there's unlimited energy. And so it's
Yeah.
really us choosing into, like you said, we are choosing that the sky is pink and that the green pieces of paper are magically valuable and we're
Right.
participating in that system.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. Have you ever read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? It's really funny, but the main characters like go off into space adventure. Long story short, they crash land on this planet looks just like Earth, and they realized very early on the main characters that some planet had put all their crazy people on a ship and told them that the planet was going to be exploded, but it was just a lie to get the crazy people off the planet. So they end up like on this ship of crazy people, like was that the other planet was ejecting. So anyways, they crash land on this planet and they're like they decide to make leaves on a tree dollars. Like and so because there's an abundance of leaves, they start burning down all the trees. So there's a scarcity of the leaves, like and it's like that's exactly how it is. It's like so you have to realize that these crashes are you burning the trees because when you burn the trees, you reduce the amount. Reduce the amount, you raise the value. It's like so what appears to be a collapse is actually a boom to some people, right? It's just
hmm
a boomerang of like the way the economy works. But the astrology says, okay, people. So I got to tell you, I keep putting this out there. The astrology says there should be a boom happening right now, a boom, a mega boom of money and wealth and potential. Like Earth has never been so fertile. Okay, the last time she was this fertile was World War II. We were spitting out 40 planes a week and 20 buses, and all that war machine. That was the last time we're in this spot of energy. It's extremely valuable. The fact that people are panicking and sabotaging it is y'all's thing. You are doing it, people. When you sell your stock, you did it. You're the cause. You go, oh no, the president was. No, no. Actually, the power is when you actually sell. That's the lever. The lever is when you sell. Just so you guys know, when you sell, that's the lever. So that is what actually makes the change because it creates a ripple effect of other levers being pulled. And so collectively, everyone takes it, like crashes the plane down. Now, I don't even think that's going to happen. There's so much boom because here's what no one's planning for: ridiculous new inventions coming out this year. From what I hear psychically, there's like two amazing inventions that will change our life forever coming out this year.
So when you're saying boom, does it always mean like money like boom, or what, are we talking like that an abundance of some sort?
We're talking about an abundance of some sort, and we're talking about everyone profiting from it,
Okay, profiting. So having
right?
more of something.
More of something, or paying less of something else.
Got it. Yeah.
right?
There's
So
less going
taxes,
out or more coming in.
if we take down taxes, then we have more,
Right.
you know? Um, so yeah, so what happens is in this month, first you say, um, I'm worth more. I want to be worth more in this next, so the spiritual lesson is I'm going to value my feelings. I'm going to value my beliefs. I'm going to value where I belong. I'm going to value my thoughts. I'm going to value my relationships. I'm going to value all these things. Whereas in the last chapter, I didn't, right? I didn't put the time and energy into caring about those things. Maybe I cared about my Ferrari. I didn't care about my emotions. Like that was the lesson. So now I'm going to care about my emotions because I know my emotions will lead to a Ferrari. My Ferrari would not necessarily lead to emotion, right? As far as the way economics works, trickle down karma. So then next week after the new moon, we go, this is it. My new moon is this is my spiritual currency. This is my soul credit. My soul's giving myself this much credit for everything. And that's your choice. You know, I mean, you can go be like, I mean, you see people like, I give myself amazing credit. You're like, fuck, really? And they're like, yeah, they are. And it's like, but one person was like, I disagree. They're stupid. Yeah, but they're getting away with it because it's their life. So it doesn't matter if someone else thinks. Because the credit you give yourself is all that matters. Does not matter
Yeah.
whether people. Does not matter if people give you credit or not. Does not. That's a lie, so that you would be caught up and other people get ahead of you. No, that's a lie. Very strategic lie. So after you give yourself some credit, then you and spend your credit in your life, or you don't spend your credit in your life. That's the next 10 days. I'm going to spend this credit. Since I give myself credit, I'm going to go and do this. Since I'm going to give myself a credit, I'm going to go and do that. Because now I've got credit from me. My own. I'm the creditor of myself.
All right. So this week we're collecting value. We're giving ourselves, we're allowing and receiving value. And then eventually next week or the week after, we're flowing it through ourselves, quote, spending it.
Investing, I say.
There we go.
Investing is a better word because spend is like it's gone.
Yeah. I
That's
was trying to think of a different word too. Yeah.
yeah. This is investment. So what we're doing this week is we're giving ourselves credit and we're eliminating debt.
Okay.
So they'll be like, I don't owe you, bitch. I don't owe you. I owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. That's eliminating debt. So it's like, well, but Nancy says you're bad. I don't care. I don't owe her anything. Oh, just eliminated that debt. Like all these people are taking your energy away. You can just
Right.
completely eliminate all these debts by not caring about the debt.
All right.
Which
So
by
then
the
that's where the value comes from. We bring the value back to self because we stop giving it to everyone else.
yes, you see how our economy is the exact replica of this. So it's like, how about we say, you know what, World Bank, we're bigger than you. We think we paid enough. We're done. Why don't you come and take it from us? Come on, bitches, take it. Like I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to that because if you look at who's like owns the World Bank and all that stuff, they're not going to.
Couple
I don't think they're going to do
families.
anything. Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
families to rich enough. I mean, we can just decide collectively as a population, like we think we've given you enough. Yes, you sue us. Go ahead and sue us. I mean, we just say sue us. Whatever. So the United States does not have to pay this debt, in my opinion. We can just default on it and go, fuck you, we're out.
Didn't you say you looked into starting your own bank?
Yes, we're still doing that. We
Right.
are. Yeah, we are still doing that. We need $20 million. We need $20 million to do it. But I'll go. We'll raise that. I think if it were big enough, we could. It's like if we said, "Hey guys, we want to start our own bank. We're going to cut all the bullshit. Put your money in our bank, and these things will not happen." And that's it. Boom. You know, boom. But Techie, wakes up on a ferry ship heading for nowhere. Oh, what the fuck? That's what happened. Oh my god. No. So next week in the second 10 days of Taurus, you say, okay, well, with this credit I'm giving myself, I'm going to stop doing business with these people and start doing business with these people because these people have good credit. These people have bad credit, right? So bad credit is in, oh, life is hard and I'll never go ahead and I need your help. You need to hear my story again about how hard it is. No, I'm not paying your debt. Like, you pay your debts. I'm not paying them. Like, I'm sorry. I listened for 10, 12 years. The story didn't change. You didn't change. You obviously want it to be this way. Cool. But I'm getting out of debt. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of this going on. And that's taking 10 days. People leaving, people going, right? A lot of it. I mean, more than you've ever seen before in your life. Really. What I can tell. Where there's like, like you ever play dodgeball when you're in junior high or whatever? And like,
Yeah.
and like you'd be on the same team with your buddy, and then like the teacher would be like, no, no, Ted, you're over there. You're playing against Christopher. Like, oh fuck. So you're like playing against your friend, right? And now he's turned on you. He's like trying to get you. Like, damn
Right.
it. That's gonna be kind of what happens. Some of us end up on the other side. And we're like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong team. How did that happen? That's just all their own karma. But so the next 10 days is like determining what am I investing in, what I'm going to pull my investments out of. And these are mostly people. Even if it's a business, it's the people that run the business. You know.
Right.
So that's the second 10 days of Taurus. Then the third 10 days of Taurus is when we go. I don't want to say play the lottery, but it's like we spin the wheel. Like it's like we start the new economy starts rolling, right? Starts rolling, and that could mean that by the way, the stock market could get volatile again. That last 10 days of Taurus. So listen to your guides, do what you have to do. Um, after
But
you
set
invest in this,
yourself up for that. Set yourself up for that in the first 10 days, the second 10 days, and then the
yes,
third 10 days, you will basically it's going to play out how you invest it.
yeah, and also what you deserve. I mean, it's what you deserve. Now, here's the thing: you have what you believe is credit, but Mother Earth is taking paying attention to credit too. So we do have a creditor. It's called God. So God has lent us a hell of a lot of credit. The fuck you're doing and take you down the most beautiful planet I've ever created and let you do whatever you want. That's a lot of credit, right? And so if you eat up God's credit and don't pay back, well, you will have some bankruptcy issues with God, which is
Got it.
karma, right? And so you can go into bankruptcy, sole bankruptcy, with the Bank of God, you know, where it's like in world he trusts. Is what that dollar say in the God bill. In world he trusts. Um, that's so funny, right? But like, and in that last 20 days, that was 10 days in the step 20s, we have a full moon at Scorpio 22. If you know what that means in our magic, that's a problem. What that is that 22-degree full moon in Scorpio is drinking the Kool-Aid. At that point, there is a crash, okay, where things collide. Basically, the two systems can no longer be tied together. They split apart. All right. So there's a split at that point. So we birthed a new story on 7, and we split the continents split apart on full moon 22 Scorpio. And while that's happening, the sun will conjoin Uranus afterwards, which will be on Unite the Light. So on Unite the Light is the weekend of the final play. We planned it that way, and we even plan our ceremonies and stuff around it too, so that we can all be in the good mood and be ready to do, have it work positively for us. Because that energy, creation and destruction are the same volt of energy.
Yeah, it's the birth. It's birth energy, right?
Yeah, I mean, and birth is death, and
And death energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that line's the same line. It's just what side you're on, you know. So 22 is when the ship hits the fan, and then it looks like from there, it's crazy through October. I mean, it's crazy.
And
You know,
okay, so elaborate on crazy.
this crazy is like, oh my God, did you see that school bus fly? That's crazy. Like crazy. I think just like things that people will not believe what they're seeing.
Yeah, like okay.
People will not
Eh,
believe what they're seeing. They just not believe. It's just like just goes so against the way life is supposed to be this way. And what? And what is we're moving on to the next era? We're done with this, particular era. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that would just people, if you knew, oh my God. And I'm not even talking about man. I'm talking about what angels offer and other stuff. Like it's legit crazy. Like you just cannot imagine, right? Those realms and those other worlds. Like Earth is such a simple, simple, simple playground.
it's nuts because the 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 people that I also look to who are talking to off-world entities are saying that 2025 is like the year as well. Like this is where all this is going to happen. Like I'm specifically referring to disclosing about extraterrestrial life and what's been going on in the secret agendas, and basically like all the conspiracy type things are going to be revealed at an accelerated rate this year. We get to know
It
more of the
starts.
truth. Yeah,
I haven't watched the news, but I just saw, Trump is releasing the Robert F. Kennedy assassination files.
yeah.
So it's like, so Trump's already starting it. You know, like, um, I wonder how many people pay attention. Like, I don't know. We're also like just wanting to escape now. But yeah, but actually, the astrology shows this year is the whole. Like, so this year is like that's what this year is. Next year is like okay. So like next year is when things like when the actual conflict is. What this year looks like is perceived conflict, but not really. You know, just like the Bay of Pigs and Cuba Missile Crisis, perceived nuclear war, but not really. Didn't happen. So I don't think anything's going to happen this year, like legit. Like nothing's going to happen. But what will happen is like over the summer, people are like, you know, basically I don't know what happened, but there was a time when the South in the Civil War, there's the moment when they're like, you know what, fuck them, let's fight them, right? And so that moment is this summer. This summer is the moment when someone goes, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm taking this in my own hands, right? And so the thing is, everyone feels if you give yourself a lot of credit, then you actually can take it in your own hands. If you didn't give yourself enough credit, then you won't know how you do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you won't know how you do it.
okay.
Yeah.
I had some people in the comments uh, ask about, like, I think they might have, because we went through the actual this week very, very quickly.
Okay.
Could we redo that like Monday through Sunday on this week? Because it was a lot about giving yourself credit, which is the whole theme of what we've been talking about. But just so that if they're taking notes or whatever, they can recap
Okay.
on this
Today,
week.
today, give your heart credit. Tomorrow, give your feelings credit. Um, there's not really much happening other than that. On Wednesday, give your belief in yourself credit. Now, Wednesday is a hump day, which means if you come out not believing in yourself, then you've chosen your lesson. So if the belief is the most important. If you don't give your beliefs any credit, well, then you're not going anywhere. So pretty much the show's decided by Wednesday. Like unless you can flip around and decide to give your beliefs credit, say, well, I want them to be real. Well, then give them some fucking credit. If you want them to be real, then give them credit. What's going to happen? The big school teacher monster is going to come and like gobble you up and take you to recess land. It's like nothing bad's going to happen for being wrong. Not really. So give your beliefs credit. Now, 3 is the sun squares Pluto. So that's what I mean. Like giving your belief in yourself credit or not credit. Okay, Spirit's telling me to say something. If you believe something and someone disagrees, if you go with if you care about their disagreement, you're not giving yourself any credit. You're giving them credit. So you decide who are you going to give credit? That asshole that keeps standing up and interrupting you, or you? Who gets the credit? Because you have to decide for yourself that you take the credit back. And they'll like fight. You can't do that. I just did. Like stop me. Like my head's going to give me the credit. You know what I mean? And so, and then you crazy motherfucker. It's like so that's it tends to happen. Yes, I am. I'm very crazy. But that's the point. If you give someone else credit, and by the way, that someone else could be the government, the Fed. That giving someone else credit can be big things you always give them credit to. And so this is where this collapse starts to happen because people are like, I don't give them credit anymore. They've misled. So a lot of people will not give institutions credit anymore. It's like giving them the benefit of the doubt instead of giving them credit. I'm not going to trust you anymore. You got to prove now. You're off the credit. You can't use my credit card anymore. You got to prove. I want cash. So Wednesday's a big day. You got to give your belief in yourself credit. And the sun squares Pluto, which means something fated happens as a result. There's a consequence in the sand that is drawn. On Thursday, you have to give credit to where you belong. Okay, this is a complicated one. A lot of people are like, I don't belong in this crazy life. I don't belong in this job. I don't belong with this woman. I don't belong with this. I don't belong with that. Okay, well, stop giving it credit. That's a hard one. Stop giving her credit. Stop giving your boss credit. Stop telling everyone that they're right and you're wrong. If you think that if it's the opposite, then stop it. And they're all, yeah, they'll be mad at me. Yes, they will. Because you've been lying this whole time, acting like it was credible, but it wasn't. So that's a whole other thing, right? But God will give you credit for finally being honest. So you do get credit there. So the point is, you gotta like, where do you belong? So it's like, like those dramatic movies where it's just like two like boys are fighting and like they're picking sides and picking teams. And
Hmm.
there's like that one kid who's friends with everybody, you
Hmm.
know, and they're like, "Come with us, Ted. They're the bad ones." If you're like that kid, let's caught between two ones. You better go with the one you actually believe, even if they have less money, less guns, whatever. Because we're not going to play games that way anymore. So it doesn't even matter. But you're not going to learn the new way until you choose. You have to choose first. I'm not going to tell you ahead of time like what it is, right? So you have to be on. You have to be where you belong on Thursday, and that means that like if you're in love with this one and you're not in love with that one, you better love the one you're with. It's like love
Love
the
the
one you're with.
one you're with.
Yeah, love the one you're with. Do, 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 do. Venus actually conjoins Saturn at 27 degrees on Thursday. So Venus conjoining Saturn is basically like the taking of the pill. Okay, so you take the pill on Thursday. And that happens around 6:01 p.m. that night. So by 6:01 p.m., your fate is probably sealed. At that point, probably sealed. Hmm. And that means you have to give credit to the one you belong with. Like I'm not with this woman. I'm with this woman. But I belong with her. You better give her credit now. I'm sorry. Like you fucked up by marrying the wrong one. Okay, but if you don't give the right one credit right now, it's not gonna look good. So that's the radical one. That's the most radical ones on Thursday. That's the most radical, right?
And it might not be the clear choice. It might not be the safe choice, is what you're saying. Like, listen to your heart.
If your life is anything like mine, it's like the right choice looks shitty, hard, doesn't pay good. Like
Yeah, that's what I
it's
was.
so disguised. It's so disguised. It's like there's shit on the road. There's like this is like all sorts of I don't know. I don't want to be insulting anybody, but it's just not. It does not look promising.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not even talking. I'm not trying to choose between people, but there's other choices that even this morning I was thinking about. I was like, wow, this feels like the way to go, but it logically it doesn't seem so.
Oh yeah, exactly. There, you just hit on the head, man. That was brilliant. It feels like the right way to go. Just listen to me. It feels like the right way to go, but doesn't logically seem so. Now that is a good sign you're doing the right thing because remember, with this particular story and a storyline is a mind game, is a brainwash. So what you said is you come to the end of this game and you're like, well, the brainwash says keep going this way, but it
Yeah,
feels like I should go that way. Uh huh.
yeah, because
Exactly.
my logic is just pure, is just based purely on things that don't matter, like how much money can I make from this. Like it's I mean that matters, but it's like it's a program that isn't real, but there's other real things that I'm paying attention to that makes it feel correct.
Yes. It's your artificial intelligence that's missteering you,
Right.
misleading you. That's right. Artificial intelligence will mislead you. Why will it mislead you? Because it's based on the past. AI did not learn the future. So why are we
Right.
going to go have some supercomputer of all the past mistakes tell us what to do? If you think
That's
we've done well,
actually
let's yeah, good.
that's cool. Yeah.
Seriously, I don't believe in AI right now. I'm not impressed at all. So you telling me it absorbed every mistake we made, every book we made, everything we've done. That was its learning, right? And you didn't tell it what to think. You just let it figure it all out on its own. Oh, we're fucked, right? Like because there's nothing. Where's the inspiration? This is why this difference between God and not God. It's like God has fresh ideas never been here before,
Mm,
right? But if you're not on God's side, you don't get the fresh idea.
I like that. Yeah. We can't close off to the to the universal channel.
I was
Are
like
you?
this. That was cool. Yeah. Someone called me. That was like, I don't know. That was, I don't know.
I
God
thought you
called me.
got frozen.
That was my heavenly agent. This is like, God, this, I've got a line two for you. Hello? Hello? It's like, fuck, I'm in trouble. All right. So 5, put credit in the right ideas. All right. So what are the right ideas? The right ideas are where you belong. So if you decide I belong on this path, even though it's the meek path, it's not necessarily the prettiest, it's not necessarily the shiniest, but this is the path I belong on. I belong on this path. I'm going to give it credit. Okay. The shiny path off to Disneyland, uh, ah, it's all right. I'm not giving that much credit. I'm gonna give this one credit. Okay. So when you turn left and you probably turn left, you turn left and you start walking down the road and you're like, I have an idea. Okay. If the idea came from where you belong, then give it credit. If the idea comes from where you don't belong, don't give it any credit.
Got it.
Right. So, hey, the people on the other path tell me that I'm going to die of a disease in 20 minutes. Don't give it credit. Don't give that any credit, that idea. So you have to discredit their ideas. You say, oh, that works really good in your world, but not mine. My world has no credit. I'm not going to give it any time, energy, or any soul
Right.
capital. Right. So then we go to step 6 and we go to our Saturday. And so on this day, the sun, let's see, Venus tries Juno. So we kind of like walk down. This is where we sort of like get engaged to our new self. And this is where we give credit to our new version of ourself. And we take credit away from their old version. All right. So this is important. So it's like, I used to be an alcoholic and this and this and this. Ah, stop giving that credit. Stop it. Stop paying that. Stop paying that spokesperson. Fire him. And I don't need to hear your story again. Don't tell me again. Don't take any more time and energy and tell me that victim story again. Stop giving it credit. That was the old you in the old land in the old world. It means nothing now. You can't even take it with you on the plane. You know what I mean? Like, so like you have to stop giving the old you credit. It's a tough one, right? It's like, so are you with me there? Or are you quiet?
Yeah. Stop giving the old you credit.
Yeah.
So it's like back to the AI thing. Like it's not about your past history, and it's like almost like devalue what you've known and bring
Yes,
value to
the unknown.
like the present moment and yeah, the unknown.
That's very good. That's very good. Basically, anything you've known is worthless now.
Thanks for prompting me too, because I'm usually floating off in my mind
Oh,
on
we
what you're
know.
saying.
Does this have a co-host? What happened? What happened? He's gone. Just disappeared on a wave. I don't know. Yeah. So don't give credit to the old you. Well, it used to be that. It used to be this. I don't care. Stop it. I'm taking away your money.
Okay.
Stop it. I'm not giving you any credit. I'm not giving you credit. But I was a horrible person. I don't care. I'm not giving you any credit. You're not giving my credit. You know. So stop giving
Yeah.
your. Also, you can help your friends by stop giving them credit for shit too.
Yeah,
So
that's an incredible invitation.
yeah. I would say this week, like anyone who comes to me this week, with their old problems. I'm not talking to you. I'm not giving any of it any credit. None of it. Not come from me. I'm not lending. I'm not giving people credit. I'm not giving credit for things they've done. I'm not giving credit for what they didn't do either. Like it's both. But I was there when I saved your life. I know, but that world's being destroyed now, so it means nothing. I know. Sorry.
Yeah, but everyone gets fresh eyes like that, right? It's like
Yes.
you got to reassess everybody in the present moment, not based on what you've known them as.
You actually just brought up a very fascinating point, my friend, as you always do. And that is, yes, for a moment, when we go down the new path, for a moment, everyone will be worth the exact same. Everyone, even the rich. Everyone will be worth the exact same for a minute. Just like
A
when
minute.
America made, well, I mean, as soon as as soon as people get word, they start racing for stuff. So,
Got
but
it.
the thing about the United States, like we're not British colony anymore. We're the United States of America. It's like holy shit. For 1 minute, we're equal to Britain. We're equal. Like everyone's equal, and every one of you bitches are equal too, because you're not a count now. You're not a royalty. You're not. Your name don't mean shit here, bitch. This is the United States,
Right.
right? So if everyone's suddenly worth the same, like woo, all worth the same, right? That's gonna be the same too when this moment starts. When this moment starts, you're worth the same as everyone because that like super wealthy person with all the money and stuff, they've never done this either. And the people they hire have never done it. And I've never done it. And I ain't selling my soul to you because I got to do it. So it's like for one moment, only the people who've studied will have any like lead, right? Or who have listened to intuition. There's other things, not just study. Maybe listen to your intuition, maybe preparing for years, maybe centuries. I don't know. But for one moment, nobody knows what to do. Nobody, which makes everyone on the same level playing field. Yeah, that's later. That's like later next year, but that's happening. So stop giving yourself credit or not credit on Saturday, and then on Sunday, God's holy day, as I say at 107 here, we have a step 7 new moon, and that's when you say, I'm not going to be this story of rags to riches. I was always rich. I just didn't know it, right? And like that's going to be the story. That's my spiritual story. I'm giving that spiritual story credit. So the spiritual story you give credit is, and you guys do not link the old story to the new story. Don't link them. Okay, they're not really linked. So it's like, yes, I spent these. I don't know. When people hear like your beginning, like when we're like 90, and they're like, how did you start before the old? Well, I ate shit and I dealt burgers and all this other stuff, and they're like, and then I became a guru and I floated. Like what? How the like how did you go? And it's like there's just you can't explain it because there's like a vortex between the two. It's cut. It's cut. There's no connection. There's no connection. There's no. So some people are exiting really angry with me. Like one day I'll like, no, you won't. It's
Oh no. I wonder if his phone overheated or something, or is it me? Can you guys still hear me? It looks like I'm moving around on my screen. But I do know from interviews with Chris, his phone only lasts so much in 100 or however hot it is over there in Palm Springs. All right, so you can still hear me. So, Diego, I think you were the one that was asking over and over and over again for him to recap the week. But yeah, it's interesting, right? It's just about bringing credit into yourself and what you think and what you feel and the choices that you're making. And then that's what he was saying. And then the next 10 days after these 10 days of giving credit and accumulating credit and appreciating self, then we are investing outwards or investing into, I don't even know what it really looks like, but this is my own perspective of what he says, that there's a way to spend that credit. And then the 10 days after that is, like you said, it's a roll of the dice. And he didn't really elaborate on what that meant, but something's happening 10 days later. And then, as you guys were talking, or as you guys heard him say, somewhere around 30 days from now, there's a huge revealing, a huge revelation. All right, you guys are saying Chris froze. I think his phone overheated or something. Guys, I'm here Wednesday at noon. So that's my live. Chris will be back on Thursday, and then he's here every Monday at noon as well. I've never done that, so will be interesting and uplifting. Thanks, guys. Is the next 10 days, or does it start the month of May? So from what I gathered, the 10 days are starting like basically like sometime yesterday. And then it's 10 days of us accumulating credit, as he said. We're accumulating value of self. So remember that going on this week, guys. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.